Kate and Meghan provide us with an excellent example of a way of thinking that can either massively increase or decrease our happiness, and a way of speaking that can make us far more likable and sounding more powerful in a positive way, or make us far less likable and sounding reactive. Let's check it out.
And I'm really not that sassy either. But because of that, it's a numbers game. And so I ended up going into so many different auditions, and you get the thickest skin of all time, because I'm really good friends with Jake Rosenberg, who's the creative director on it, and he had seen sort of the way that this company was putting my site together. He's like, I bet why I connected things like Darling magazine, or, part of why I think it's really important to have that candid quality on the TIG, is that you have to share stories like that. Suits is not what I ever thought
First, let me point out that these are random clips I took from the interview. I did not attempt to make it sound like she says I more than she does. There are times when she says it far more. You'll notice that Meghan says I, and when she says you, it's mostly referring to herself or giving advice. This alienates people, which should go without saying. But here's an interesting thing. Meghan talks about I and empowerment a lot, but there's been a lot of research done. People in power tend to say we more than I. I'm working on this project. We're working on this project. Granted, I changed my tonality, but one sounds a lot more powerful. Next, I'll show you Kate and also talk about the emotions aside from just how this sounds.
Now, the Duchess of Cambridge has invited the public to contribute to a new exhibition she's launching today alongside the National Portrait. And here to tell us more, we are delighted to be joined by Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge. And welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. How are you coping in this strangest of times?
Not at all. Fine, thank you. It's extraordinary. I'm sure you're experiencing the same yourselves and your families and things. But we're stuck into homeschooling again. But no, they're unprecedented times really. But no, we're fine. Thank you for asking. How are you? How are both your families?
Yeah, we're I think the same as everybody else really. We're scrabbling through. Very grateful actually to be able to come in here every day, which does make a difference if you've got that focus and something.
Kate not only says we more, but her general way of being and speaking is far more focused on other people. First of all, this is pleasant, and this is more of an indicator of power. A quick thing is celebrity culture and fame give us a misguided view of what power is, because we're gonna see more people who love attention on television. But if you look at the powerful people in your community who are liked, they're going to be more we-based. So that's important. But emotionally as well, humans, we're meant to be community-based. And there's been marketing for years and years and generations at this point. Have it your way. If your family's eating some dinner you don't like, get this frozen meal because it's yours and it's what you like. We've been marketing on this over and over, this extreme sense of importance. But focusing on the self leads to, one, worry about how one comes off, which will lower confidence, but also just unhappiness because we're not meant to be that way. Any event will be more upsetting, as Meghan tends to get very upset. It's much easier to think that other people's lives are better and perfect. When we are thinking we and community-based, we develop connections, improving our lives, but also our brains function differently, making us happier. By the way, if you have a negative emotion like nervousness when giving a speech, focus on the audience and how you can benefit them, and you will feel far more confident. If you're feeling a bit down, focus on, is there a small thing I could do for someone else? And you'll feel a lot better.